Our Take wraps up our three-part series called Women in the Digital World with a look at young girls getting a head start in the digital world. Kimberly Bryant is founder of Black Girls Code, and she's on a mission to introduce programming and technology to a new generation of girls, especially girls of color. And welcome, Kimberly. With us here in the studio is Monet Cogbill, who wants her daughter Theory to be a part of that future. Theory, beautiful young lady in our studio, is part of an organization called Girls Inc. The group provides gender-based educational programs in the areas of math, science, health, and financial literacy. How you doing, Theory?
I'm doing fine.
Oh, wonderful. I have a feeling that you're going to be able to teach me a thing or two or three about computers, right? Mm-hmm. All right, sounds good. Let me go to Kimberly first. Kimberly, I understand that you actually created your organization in part because you didn't see a lot of people that looked like you when you were pursuing your academic pursuits in technology.
Absolutely. I started my career more than 20 years ago as an electrical engineer, and there were very few women that graduated with me from college getting their degrees in engineering as well. But it was interesting to find out after more than 20 years, those numbers have actually gotten worse. So we see now less than 3% of women of color actually receiving a degree in computer science when they leave college. And that's actually reflected in the industry because you see very few women of color or Latinas that are in leadership roles in some of the top leadership companies in the tech space today. So that's part of the problem we're trying to solve with Black Girls Code.
Kimberly, that's really critical because this is where everyone is saying where the future jobs are. So if the girls aren't there now, it's almost like, you know, we're saying imagine a future.
Yeah.
This is imagining them out of the future if we're not focusing on educating them in the digital space, yeah?
Absolutely. When we look at the statistics, more than 1 out of 4 jobs over the next 10 and 20 years will require some type of STEM degree or some type of STEM focus. But if we don't train this generation of students to be able to attract those jobs and work in that technology space, we could create a permanent underclass and never be able to get them into the field and really into the technological economy.
And Kimberly, when you say STEM, of course, you're talking about science, technology, engineering, and math. And Monet, I understand that is exactly what you wanted Theory to know, were all of those things. And you have really fostered and encouraged Theory to be a part of these various programs that are helping her get on that path.
Yes, I mean, she attends the Urban and Stimuli Institute of Math and Science for Young Women. It's a middle school and high school. And we chose it because of the STEM curriculum, but also because Girls Inc., they have a partnership and they make like STEM fun. So they have robotics that she's participated in.
What are some of the things that you've been doing, Theory?
In 7th grade, I had games for learning, and we were supposed to design an educational game for like kids who wanted to learn stuff like fractions and stuff. But we didn't really make the game. We just like designed it, and then we gave it to the professionals, and they designed it for us.
Oh, so you just designed it. You just designed it, right?
Your own game?
Good for you.
That's awesome.
But
Wow. What was the name of your game?
I don't remember what the name of my game was.
I like the way that you refer to it. You know, you say, I designed it.
And then we gave it to someone.
Gave it to someone else.
That sounds very CEO.
That sounds really, really exciting. And I'm curious, are you finding other young ladies such as yourself? Are you finding other Black girls in the program? Are you one of a few?
Most of the girls in my school are Black.
Are Black. So you're finding that that there are more Black girls in the same program, in the technology program and engineering program? Mm-hmm. And you must enjoy that, right? Because you're learning, but you're also, I guess, kind of playing together in designing these programs. What are some of the other things that you're learning?
In robotics, you learn how to program robots, and then we have a research part of robotics. So last year was about the human body, and we had to do bacteria. So we took swabs around the school and checked the bacteria in our school.
Kimberly, this has got to be music to your ears when you hear a young lady like Theory saying that, you know, oh, I designed something and then I gave it to the professionals to actually make. I mean, she's talking about things that, I hate to admit it, they're a little over my head when it comes to the technology part. But isn't this just so critical that it really does have to start at this age?
Absolutely. And, I love to hear her talk about all the things she's learning. And that's the same type of speech and the type of conversation that we see in our girls that come through our program as well. So we really want them to see technology as a second nature for them. So they're not afraid of it. And when they're not afraid of it, then they can excel at it. So that's what we're trying to do, is really empower them to tap into these skill sets that are undiscovered right now.
I love what they're doing and what Girls Inc. is doing. They're changing the conversation. Often, programs for girls, back in the day were like, what were the domestic things that you could do? What were clerical things that you can do? And to change the conversation, like even the motto of Girls Inc. is just empowers you, right? Don't you feel cool being there with your peers and what Girls Inc. tells you that you are, that you're strong? What is it? You're strong?
Strong, smart, and bold.
Strong, smart, and bold. Like that's pro, right? That's
Monet,
what
you are grinning from ear to ear. You must be beaming
The
with
comment
pride.
about it being second nature is the thing where she doesn't even faze her that,
Yeah.
it's just what I do, science, math, that's what I enjoy, robots.
And part of that, too, was her exposure to even what you were doing. I understand that you were always working with computers when she was at a very young age.
Yeah,
so you must have saw something that early on that in her that you wanted to really foster.
Yes, definitely. And yes, I'm an art director and graphic designer, and she would sit behind me and see I was, working in design programs and be curious about it. So now, she's using Photoshop and teaching me some things.
Oh my God, Photoshop? You might have a job here after this show.
Yeah.
Smart girls rock.
And Monet, I'm curious as to what kind of support have you found as a mom looking for these kinds of organizations? Have you been able to find the other programs out there?
Well, Girls Inc. is just the best partner with her school. And I mean, when we chose the school, Girls Inc. being a part of it was great. And it wasn't just the STEM, but they also have fine arts. So she draws and she can blend together
A number of different things.
Yes, her visual arts and the technology, and just have fun with it, because sometimes school, she's like, oh, it's a little boring, and then she goes to Girls Inc. after school, and it's like it brings everything around. And
Really motivated, really inspirational. Kimberly, I'm curious for the parents who might want to get their girls involved in a program, whether it's like yours or whether it's like Girls Inc., and they're not necessarily in an area where the programs actually exist. Where do they go then to get the girls in a camp, in some sort of program that may not be in their immediate vicinity?
Well, for us at Black Girls Code, we have chapters all across the U.S. as well as in South Africa. So we actually do have the chapter of Black Girls Code that is building right in New York. We're in Atlanta. And we really hope to reach over 1 million girls and become the Girl Scouts of technology. So I would definitely welcome folks to look at Black Girls Code. But we're also doing more of our curriculum online so that we can reach girls and students in places where we're not. And there are other organizations and tools that also have resources online. So they can look at things like Scratch, which is online. They can look at Mozilla, which has lots of tools where kids can learn to build video games. They can learn to build web pages online. They can look at Code Academy, which has resources online. There's just a wealth of resources available at your fingertips now that's free and open for you to take advantage of and get your students to learn about technology as young as possible.
And I was actually just going to ask you that, Kimberly. Is there a particular age in which parents should be encouraging their girls? Is there an age that's considered too young? Or, and also, is there an age in which if you don't get them involved, if you don't get them interested, you might miss that very important opportunity?
I don't think it's really an age that's too young for this generation of youth, because they're what we call digital natives. So as I think your guest in the studio mentioned, they grow up watching their parents on computers, and they become acclimated to technology very, very soon. So I would say as young as 6 or 7, they can definitely start learning how to create with technology. So all of these tools are very accessible for young students, and they're things that they can really tap into and really take off with at a very young age. So 6 or 7 And that's as early as we start in our programs.
All right, Kimberly Bryant, founder of Black Girls Code. Thank you very, very much. And Monet and Theory Cogbill, thank you, ladies, for being with us. And Theory, have you decided what you want to be and what you want to do when you grow up?
When I grow up, I'm going to work at Google.
Oh, good for you.
She said it here.
I know. Good for you. Well, good luck to you. I have no doubt that you will achieve any and everything that you set your mind to. All right? Look at that beautiful smile. And thank you, Michaela Angela Davis.
Great.
It was a lot of fun. You have to come back.
Oh, anytime.
All right,
Anytime.
wonderful. And I'm Christina Brown, and you are watching Our Take.